when I start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love, when I start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa. I'm Tamira Hume, a practitioner here at our lovely, lovely center. Thank you for starting us off to our beautiful band. The science of mind is about each of us finding our personal power. It teaches that the ability to change the world is not outside of us. That ability lies within. And when we recognize this, when we learn how to tap into our own inherent power, that is when we bring the creative magic of our heart into the world. Whether you're in the room or watching online, please know you are welcome here, where we aspire to connect our personal power by honoring inclusion, equity, and diversity. We do. Please join me in reading our mission. The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling global vision that inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. Now, we do this through our 5 spiritual practices, and please read those with me. Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, spiritual circulation. And boy, oh boy, is this next part true, because I know I'm excited to announce that there's a group of people who over the last 2 years have been living those spiritual practices. They are our brand new practitioners. Our practitioners are the spiritual backbone of the community, offering prayer support, spiritual coaching, and so much more. To become a licensed prayer practitioner, they must embrace the science of mind by completing a 2-year program designed to take them deep into their own spiritual practice so that they can be guides for us all. They're then evaluated by a panel of their peers who confirm that they exhibit the knowledge and compassion of a prayer practitioner. I am delighted to say that all of our students passed. On behalf of the practitioners and center, welcome to Anne-Marie Cheney, Denise Poole, Lee Brochat, Nicole Arnone Chipola, and Sky Freeman. Let's give them a big round of applause. We would now like to extend a warm welcome to our first-time visitors. First-time visitors, please stand or raise your hand, and we will bring you a flower and a welcome packet as a token of our gratitude that you are with us today. Please remain standing or raise your hand, or keep your hand raised so that we can find you. And if you're watching online today, let us know in the chat. We are all so grateful to have you. I know that somewhere in the music, in the meditation, prayer practices, and Reverend Russ's message today, you will find exactly what you need to experience for the next step of your spiritual unfoldment. You are welcome here. Now please enjoy some music before we spend our short time in silent contemplation and prayer. Please enjoy some music.
The strength of God, the strength of God in me. I rest in the goodness and the strength of God, the strength strength of God.
There is a power for good in the universe, a power of presence. It is the presence of that one that creates all of life, all that there is. Every sound, every look, every feel, that one. You may call it God. It is divine love. It is the spirit of being. And each thing that it creates, every person, every form of life, carries the essence of what it is within. And my senses feel alive this morning with the knowingness of that, with the feelingness. Yes, I know it with my head, and I feel it in my heart and my whole entire being. It is that which gives life, yes, and sustains it. Moving forward and knowing that just right here where we stand or sit, that it is actively creating, that it is digesting our food, that it is beating our hearts, that it is circulating the blood within our bodies. This givingness, we don't even have to think about it. We can just relax and sense that this is spirit having its way with us, supporting us. We are so rich in knowing this. The sounds of the music that we hear this morning, and knowing that the message we are about to hear contains those nuggets of truth and goodness and glory. We are rich in spirit. It infills us always, all times. Gives us those gifts of appreciation and love for one another, that sense of equity and inclusion, diversity, powerful gifts that we use in our daily lives. And so it is with a feeling of overflowing gratitude that I know these things, that I accept these things, that I feel them deep within the heart of me. This is a day of thanksgiving. And so, with nothing more to do, I simply release this word and invite us all to say together, and so it is. Amen. Good morning. My name is Sherry Poole. I'm one of the prayer practitioners here at the center. It's my joy to invite you to read aloud the affirmation this morning. Seeing the connection of all, I recognize my part in the thriving of all. So it is.
I'm taking off, gotta go. Destination unknown, no holding back. Oh no, I'm discovering my flow. I'm saying yes to myself and the fire in my cells. 'Cause I'm moving with the mystery, honoring myself, letting go to hear my soul, to hear my soul. I'm amplified, I'm aligned with this rhythm as my guide, heart open wide. I fly on these melodies inside. I'm saying yes to this life and this beauty I've designed. I'm in harmony with destiny, honoring myself, letting go to hear my soul. harmony we sing along to hear my song, to hear my song, to hear my song, to hear my song.
Astor Fox, everyone. Thank you. And thank you to our band. Do you remember the first job that you ever landed? Well, I remember mine. And it was in 2008, and I have to say I was really ecstatic because this was my first real IT job, and it was for this big paper company in the Midwest. This is where you make all of your office jokes. And I felt like this was really my opportunity to learn IT and to shine and to grow. And I even liked my coworkers. And then the Great Recession happened. And I'd only been at this company for a few months. So being the most junior position, they laid me off. And I have to say, it was a pretty hard day for me. And I remember that I was sitting in the head of HR's office getting this news, along with my boss. And I was telling them how much I love this job, how much I didn't want to lose it. And all of this was happening while my body was screaming at me with anxiety. So in that moment, I felt powerless. And my next week would be spent swimming in that feeling of being powerless, that feeling of being worthless. And I'm going to share a bit more about that in a bit. First, I have to talk about that feeling of powerlessness. It's because it's a feeling that I see too often. This sense that we're at the mercy of an uncaring world. It's hard for me to witness, and it's hard to experience that feeling. When that feeling happens, I get the double hit of the catastrophe, because not only do I have to deal with the catastrophe, but I also have to deal with my reaction to the catastrophe. So I might have a bad thing that only happens once, but you better believe that my mind is going to recycle that over and over and over, trying to pick apart exactly what happened to find out where I was the cause of the catastrophe, even if it was something that was completely outside of my control. Recognizing this kind of a reaction where I feel powerless, it's the first step toward embracing personal power. And it turns out that that's the title of our talk today, Embracing Personal Power. Life is filled with examples of how power can be used. And society tends to define power as the ability to make changes in our world. And the more power that we have, then the bigger the changes that we can make. But on the flip side, the less power that we have, the more that we're at the mercy of those who do have power. Now, I'm not a very big fan of that definition. And that's because it implies that there have to be winners and there have to be losers. And that the only way that we're ever going to get ahead is if we get as much power for ourselves as we possibly can. And well, That doesn't feel like oneness to me. That doesn't feel like wholeness. I happen to prefer what Dr. Ernest Holmes has to say about power. And he says in his book, This Thing Called You, when you use the word God, you mean the power that creates everything, that gives life to everything. When you say all things are possible, you mean that the power which created the planets is now operating in your affairs, in and through everything you do. So Ernest he's not talking about a power that's outside of us, that we have to go and get if we're going to prosper. He's talking about a power that is already within us. It's a power that is deeper and more transformative than anything that would be out in the world. And he's talking about the creative power of life itself. But he doesn't stop there. He then talks about using it confidently, and he says, there is nothing this power cannot do for you if you learn how to use it. It is impossible for it to fail. All failure is of humanity. None comes from God. And here's the first idea that I want you to consider. When I tap into and reclaim the creative power of life that's within me, when I do that through prayer, through meditation, through spiritual practice, the turning of the world no longer has the hold on me that it once did. And I'm able to see new possibilities and gain energy to follow those possibilities. And here's the best part. I don't even have to recognize a lot of that power within me. Just a little bit can do big good. So how can I recognize it? Well, I shift where I direct my awareness, where I direct my attention. Let me show you how. Let me tell you what happened after I was laid off in 2008. So there was that week that I was spending stuck in the turning of my mind, being filled with anxiety and depression, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I thought that I was going to have to claim bankruptcy to pay off my credit cards. I thought that I was going to get evicted from my apartment. And then something happened. In the midst of this, somehow I noticed what was going on. I noticed that cycle of rumination, and I gently interrupted it. I gently said, no. And I was able then to tap into just the smallest sense of that creative power of life within me. And I did that simply by remembering that I have skills. I have skills that are wanted and needed in the world. And so that creative power, it motivated me to go and post my resume. And then pretty soon I was going out and I was interviewing for a new job. And that tiny bit of power that I recognized in myself, it was like a seed that the more I would water it, the more I noticed that it was growing into something beautiful and new. Each new interview was an affirmation that, well, I wasn't as much of a failure as I thought I was. And then something really remarkable happened. Almost a month after I was laid off, right before I was going to start collecting my first unemployment check, I got a phone call. Turns out that phone call was from my former employer. Turns out that they wanted to offer me my old job back. Now, on that phone call, there are a lot of things that could have happened. I could have held on to my resentment for them laying them off and laid into them and say, how dare you call me back and offer me this job that you took away from me? How dare you? I could have succumbed to the fear that they're just going to lay me off again. But you see, here's the thing, the power within me, that power was already unlocked. And that power saw a greater possibility. And so I said yes. I went back to that job, and I would go on to work for them for 6 years. And I helped transform their IT infrastructure before moving on to my next big adventure. And while I was there, I learned quite a lot. And my work there, it gave me the experience that I needed to make a difference in an even bigger way when I moved on from that job to go work for a large public school system. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I went back to that job because I learned something so valuable when I was laid off. It's the second idea that I want to share with you today. I learned that I have options for how I use my personal power. I can use my power to lift up the world, or I can use it to drag it down. And as part of that, I learned something else. I learned that my personal power is not my own. And what I mean by that is that the power within me, that power doesn't exist in isolation from other people. It's intertwined and connected, always connected to this greater whole. So knowing that teaches me that how I use my inner power matters. A fire can roast your marshmallows, it can warm your house, or it can burn down an entire forest. That fire itself, it's not good or bad. It's how it's used that defines it. And this is something that educator activist Brittany Packnett Cunningham shows us really well, because on August 9th, 2014, Michael Brown was shot and killed by the Ferguson, Missouri police. And then a day later, protests broke out in Ferguson. And Brittany Cunningham was one of the protest organizers. And because of those protests, she gained national notoriety for making visible police violence against the Black community. Now, Brittany could have just stopped there. She could have taken that fame and notoriety for herself. She could have focused on rage and condemnation. I don't think anyone would have blamed her. But instead, she did something really powerful. She took her platform and she used it to empower others, to amplify the many voices that were calling out for change, not just hers. She emphasized love as the root of any real change, and she worked to build partnerships between grassroots organizations and institutions that were based upon a mutual desire for understanding and healing. She continues to use her power in what I think is the most creative way possible by spreading it amongst all those who she meets, inspiring within them the sort of personal power that builds bridges across cultures. So this is what it means for me to connect with personal power, to recognize that it's not just my power that I'm tapping into, but the very power of this creative universe that we all live in. When I find ways to amplify the inherent power of others, we can all share in the power to build a world that works for everyone. In those moments, my personal power grows and your personal power grows. They grow when they are combined. But here's another thing that I learned. It's wonderful when we discover those big ways that we can use our personal power, but what I know is that we don't always need a stage or a crowd or a cause for that personal power to make a big difference. In fact, sometimes the biggest impact, it can be as simple as using personal power to take a principled stance, and to do that by walking away. And that's exactly what Immigration and Customs Enforcement Attorney Adam Boyd did recently. Adam Boyd was unable to reconcile the changes that he was seeing in ICE with his own moral center. And because of that, he left his position and he began to speak out on those issues. Now, I know to do such a thing, especially in the world in which we live today, that takes a lot of courage, especially when that act draws the world's attention. So I find what he did really inspiring, because it shows that there's always another path that we can take when we are able to tap into our personal power and then let it guide us on our journey. That guidance might lead us along a harder path, yes, but it also shows how taking the right path, even if it is a harder one, it can inspire us all. And what I know is that inspiration leads others to begin to walk the harder path with me, and that makes it a lot easier. Here's something else that I've learned about walking those harder paths. It's not just personal power that gets us there. It's confidence. And it's the confidence to trust the Spirit within. The confidence to act even when the outcome is far from certain. Brittany Packnett Cunningham says in her 2019 TED Talk, confidence is the necessary spark before everything that follows. Learning that confidence has helped me to walk the harder paths. I didn't always have it. I don't always have it. I have to work a lot to stay connected with it. And I stay connected with my confidence by staying connected to that creative spirit within me, by recognizing it, by seeing it, by listening to it. Because just like my power, that confidence within me isn't just my own. It's a confidence that must come from Spirit. It's the kind of confidence that's rooted in knowing in my bones that there is a creative power in the universe and that I can use it. And so can you. Now that brings me to my third idea. Using my power, using your power to empower others is good. It's needed. It can amplify the voices of the many so that we can all sing a chorus of unity and wholeness. But here's the thing. I've found that I can't join in this chorus until I've discovered the confidence within me that comes from my own personal power. Until I do that, I'm probably going to sing out of key. I'm probably going to lose my rhythm. And if I keep on singing out of key and losing my rhythm, you know what? I might just make others lose their way too. So I have to tap into that confidence within me first. That confidence that comes from Spirit, from letting go of my desire to use power in the ways that society says that I should use it, to control and to manipulate. Instead, I have to trust that there is a power for good within me that knows what to do. And then surrender to it, to surrender to that power and to its guidance. I have to know that I'm on a path that is worth walking. I have to know that before I can ever empower others to walk that path with me. So how can we grow that trust of the Spirit within? Well, for me, it often means that I have to take care of myself first. I have to take care of myself and then watch how that will open up the pathway for my creative power to come through. Because I can tell you, it would be a lot harder to be up here speaking with you here today if I couldn't pay my rent, if I couldn't put groceries in my fridge. So what I'm saying is that it's okay to focus on ourselves and taking care of our needs before we think about sharing our power with others. The more that I'm able to take care of myself, not getting lost in myself, but taking care of my needs, the more that I can trust my own personal power to come through. Because now it's safer for that power to come through. It gives me confidence, and that trust and confidence, it gives me the fuel that I need so that I can be a presence for good in the world and for other people. Confidence is the bridge. It's the bridge that lets me take my personal power and then share it with others so that we can all build a better world. When I was laid off, I had to build up my confidence by putting out resumes and going on interviews and remembering my self-worth. Remembering that I didn't have to do anything for that self-worth to be there. I had to take care of myself because there's no way that I was going to share my power with others until I could pay my rent. But once I discovered that power, once I discovered that confidence, well, I can tell you it was so much easier to help others grow through the work that I did. So there's 3 things that I talked about today. The first idea is that it's so important that we reclaim our personal power. And we do that through spiritual awareness, through looking within and noticing even the tiniest little bit of that power that comes from Spirit. And the second idea is that it's important that we know that we have a choice of how to use our power, that we can choose to use it constructively or destructively. And know that Spirit knows the difference. And then the third idea, confidence is a bridge. It's the bridge between our inner power and sharing this good with the world. So the more we can cultivate that by trusting Spirit within, the more we're able to step boldly into the world and give our power away in the best way possible. When I lost my job, well, I thought that I didn't have any power. But what I discovered is that the creative power within me never left. It didn't go anywhere. It was still right there, waiting to be noticed quietly. And when I remembered that, well, I was able to stand up again and choose my personal power. And that's how my confidence returned. And even today, it's what I draw upon to help build a world that works for everyone with you, because that's what we're doing here at the center. When I look at our center, I see a model of what a world that works for everyone looks like, and it's quite impressive to see. And we do that together by recognizing the power within ourselves and then choosing to share it. So here's what I want to leave you with today. Look within yourself. Find your power. I promise you it's there. And when you find it, ask yourself this question: how can I use my personal power to uplift the world? So let's take that into prayer. And this spiritual mind treatment is available to you. If you want to come and see me after service, I'll be out by the statue of Saraswati, and you can take that home with you. But for now, I invite you to turn within and just take this moment to breathe and notice, where does personal power live within you? And then rest in your power as I speak this treatment. There is only one life, one presence, one spirit that is the source of all creation. This spirit creates through the power of its love. It is love, and there is no limit to its power. I embrace Spirit's power within me. I allow this power to create through me. In the presence of this power, all things are possible. I allow Spirit to guide me in the wise use of my power. I know that love knows how to share my power in ways that benefit all. I know that within this power is the confidence to walk any path. Spirit's power gives me the courage to overcome any hardship. I embrace my power with the faith and trust of Spirit, and I use it to express Spirit's creative love. I do not need to doubt, because Spirit is certain. Spirit knows every idea, every path, every outcome. My faith in Spirit's ideas, created through the power within, brings them to life. I allow my use of this power to be guided by the idea of a world that works for everyone, a world where we collectively express the power of Spirit in all things. Spirit's power is my power now, and I share it with the world. I am grateful. I release my word and I rest in the knowledge that my power is already at work. And I invite us all to seal this word together by saying, and so it is. And so I invite you to take another deep breath, breathing in, let out a sigh. We use our breath to help us to transition to our practice of spiritual circulation here at the center. And before I show you the ways that you can give, I want to share some gratitude with you. And it is my gratitude, but it's also gratitude that comes from one of our volunteer teams here, and that's from our jail ministry. They are so grateful for your generosity that you shared with them last Sunday when they had their table out there, because they were able to collect, was it over $150 that can be used towards books for the inmates that they serve. So for all who have been supporting them, thank you so much. I know that they're very grateful. Now, there are a number of ways that you can support our center. You can go online and use online giving. We have text to give. You can send a text message, and it will help you to walk through setting up your payment method, and then you can just send a text message with $1 million the next time, and it will automatically deduct it, assuming you have $1 million in your account. Yes. And we will pass the baskets today as well. But I also want to share another way that you can give. And I believe Dr. Edward mentioned this last week, and that is that we're beginning our capital campaign to replace our roof in 2 years. So we are now open to receive donations that if you want to designate it to go to help replace our roof so that we can cover our future for the next however many years that roof lasts, and we'll make sure it lasts a long time, then that is a way that you can do it too. As we pass the baskets, if you like, you can write "for the roof" on your envelope, or you can do it online. We have a form on our website. Just look for the picture of our center as you drive in, and the campaign is called Covering Our Future. So check that out, and if you'd like to give in that way too, we very much appreciate it, because every time the rainy season comes, it's always fun seeing where the new leaks are. It's not really fun at all. It's not so. So before we pass the baskets, I invite our ushers to stand and hold our space, and I invite you to hold your gift close to your heart and repeat after me. I bless my gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does incredible work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
Making changes for myself. I deserve a wealth of help. Getting moving, watch me go. There's no waiting for tomorrow. It's the greatest satisfaction. I'm taking action. I'm taking action. Standing up for myself, feeling better in every cell. Keep it moving, watch me go. Stepping up as my own hero. It causes a chain reaction. I'm taking action. I'm taking action. I could count every reason to let my life pass me by. I've held on through the seasons that were the hardest to survive. And I survived, transforming myself from the ashes, a phoenix healed. Spiral upward, watch me grow. If I don't try, then I'll never know. His satisfaction.
Don't we just love our band? We do. Give them a little more love. Imagine a master class in science of mind with one of our movement's leading voices, Dr. Jesse Jennings. The Essential Ernest Holmes is a book compiled by Dr. Jennings that opens a direct path to the core ideas of our teaching. Selections from the Voice Celestial, Holmes' poetic tribute to the Gita are woven throughout the book, adding beauty and depth and glimpses of Holmes' devotion to the spiritual journey. Our class, The Essential Ernest, is based on his book. Each session combines focused teaching, conversation, and practices to apply what you are learning. Whether you're new to this teaching or ready to engage it at a deeper level, this class brings you into a learning environment that is both thoughtful and practical. The aim is simple: to understand science of mind through Ernest Holmes' own words and to live what you discover. The class sign-up has been extended, and class begins Thursday, July 31st at 4 p.m. The science of mind tells us that we have the power to change our minds, and that when we do this, we change our lives. What if we could supercharge this power? We can. And the power of ritual helps us do that. Rituals engage our senses in ways that add depth and weight to our 5 spiritual practices, especially spiritual mind treatment. This is what we will learn in Reverend Russ's upcoming class, how to create rituals that tickle the senses. Doesn't that sound fun? And help us feel the presence of the sacred. And here is something new. We'll learn how to add the element of personal rituals to prayer, affirmation, and meditation, and to enhance them through the power of using these rituals. Class starts on Monday, July 21st at 6 p.m. It's already past halfway to next year. And I'm wondering if at the start of 2025 you set an intention for the year. I know that no matter what my vision is for the year, sometimes I need to take a step back and reset it. I need to take an honest look at what isn't working and what needs more attention. That's why I'm grateful Reverend Russ is offering a new workshop called Living Your Intention, a mid-year reset. In it, he will help us reflect on our year so far and how it aligns with our personal vision. We'll then reset our intentions for the year and clear away anything that might be blocking them. The workshop is Sunday, July 27th at 1 p.m. You can pick up our new education catalog at the info table and on our website, where you can learn more about these classes and more. Please talk with Reverend Russ after service if you're interested in a scholarship for Essential Ernest, or send an email to Russ at CSLSR.org. One of the delightful aspects of our community is how our building and the space that it provides for us, that lets us connect with groups all around Sonoma County. And one of these groups is the New Horizons Band. And they've been rehearsing here and sharing their concerts for years. To celebrate our friendship, the New Horizons Swing Band is offering a dance lesson and concert and fundraiser this Friday, June 18th. Learn how to swing dance at 6 p.m. and then get a chance to practice with a concert from 7 until 9. Tickets are $15 in advance and $20 at the door. The proceeds from that will benefit both the band and our center. Each year, we select 12 nonprofit organizations aligned with our values who are doing good work in our larger community. Now, if you have a nonprofit that you really love that's making a difference, please let us know by nominating them on our website. Click the Make a Difference image, and please complete that before August 3rd, 2025. One of those nonprofits is Emergency Prep Help, a group that helps seniors prepare for life-threatening emergencies. They are sharing a free 2-part workshop with our center on Tuesday, August 5th and Tuesday, August 19th, where you can learn how to prepare for the worst and receive a free go bag with the essentials. This workshop is not just for seniors, though. It's open to everyone. So please pick up a flyer at the info desk with more info, and you can sign up at our website. School's coming fairly soon, and our center is once again partnering with our local spiritual communities to collect backpacks filled with school supplies for our local kids. If you'd like to donate a backpack, head over to our website, or you can pick up a flyer at our info desk with the details of the items they're looking for, and then you can bring it back any Sunday through July. Our July nonprofit is Farm to Pantry. Their mission is to connect sustainable farms and nourish communities. They provide a continuous supply of fresh, healthy products and produce to our most vulnerable neighbors who lack access to it. And they do this by cultivating a community of growers and volunteers who serve as gleaners. Maybe some of you have actually experienced gleaners. They come, and if you have an excess of fruit or vegetables, they pick it up and they take it so it can be used as food for those who need it. They are visiting with us today in the social hall, so stop by and say hello and learn more. We have a video all queued up for you, so please enjoy the video.
Hello, I am Rosa Gonzalez, and I'm the Executive Director of Farm to Pantry. We are a women-led food justice nonprofit who believes good nutrition is a right, not a privilege, and that no food should be left to rot when there is food insecurity in our midst. We have been actively rescuing produce from waste and getting it onto the tables of our underserved neighbors for 17 years. We have also cultivated relationships with over 100 other nonprofits, expanding our reach and ensuring the 1 million plus servings of produce we bring in each year gets to where it is needed most.
I am Kelly, Farm to Pantry's Development Director, and I'm so proud of the work our small but mighty nonprofit does. We live in such a beautiful and agriculturally abundant spot on the planet, and we want to make sure none of it goes to waste, because the sad reality is that food waste accounts for 8% of global greenhouse emissions. We strive to heal our planet and nourish the 1 in 4 of us in Sonoma County who struggles to feed their family.
Too often, ultra-processed foods that are cheap and accessible, even in food deserts, dominate the diets of our underserved community members. With your support, we ensure underserved families have access to nutritious, locally grown fresh fruits and vegetables. It seems so simple, but it is so important for the health of our community. For the air we collectively breathe, for those families who are food insecure, for our local farmers, and for the health of our community. Thank you for uniting with us to take care of each other. And a big thank you to the members of the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa, for choosing Farm to Pantry as one of their 2025 nonprofit partners. We are honored and so very grateful.
Thank you very much for being with us today. Have a great week.
Thank you, Tamira, and thank you. It is time to bring our service to a close, but before we do, if you are having a challenging time, if you would like some spiritual support through the form of prayer from one of our licensed prayer practitioners, some of whom are brand new, hello, Anne-Marie, please take advantage of that. They're here to know and help you know your personal power. So you can head on over to Karen at the white desk in the corner there if you're in the room, and she'll direct you to a prayer practitioner. If you're watching online, there's a link you can follow to have a free confidential prayer. So please take advantage of that. Okay, I invite us all to stand as we're able and repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it. just the way that it is and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you're guided, sustained, and inspired by a power that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly so that in everything that we do and we say and we think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. I look forward to seeing you on our Wednesday service. Have a wonderful week, and let's close in song.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.